Welcome to Book Peer. I'm Paul, and with me is Alice.
Hey everyone.
Today we're talking about Sarah J. Maas's Throne of Glass.
It's huge EE. Time Magazine even named it one of the decade's best fantasy
If
series.
you want to check it out, we suggest grabbing the Throne of Glass paperback box set from Amazon.ca.
It has all 8 books.
Way cheaper than buying them individually.
Seriously, you're looking at like 25 bucks a book otherwise.
Right. Don't forget to like this episode and subscribe to see more recommendations like this one.
So what makes this series so captivating?
Well, it all starts with Celaena Sardothien,
A young assassin.
imprisoned by this ruthless king.
But wait, there's a chance for freedom.
She has to compete against 23 others
All skilled warriors and assassins.
to become the king's champion.
But that's just the first book. The story unfolds over 8 books, and it takes Celaena and the reader on a wild ride.
With magic, romance, and characters you can't help but root for.
The world building is incredible.
Maas created this super detailed world.
With its own magic system, myths, and landscapes.
It's seriously immersive.
And readers are loving it.
We've been looking at reviews, and people can't stop talking about Maas's writing.
They call it gripping immersive.
Impossible to put down,
Some even admitted to crying multiple times.
which says a lot about the emotional depth of the story.
Yeah, it's a huge emotional range.
Heartbreak, joy, tension. You name it.
Readers say they really connect to the characters.
It's like they're living the story right alongside them.
Don't forget to leave us a comment.
Let us know if there are any books that make you feel that way. We love hearing from you guys.
So we talked about the plot, how captivating it is.
Reviewers keep mentioning the intricate plot twists,
And that epic scale of the story.
but there are also these themes of friendship, loyalty,
Dream!
courage,
Which seem to connect with readers of all ages.
and the characters. Let's talk about them.
People love these characters.
You can tell Maas put a lot of thought into them.
They're not just flat. They have these really detailed backgrounds.
You see them grow and change so much throughout the series,
And the strong female characters really stand out.
like Celaena and Mana,
They defy expectations and fight for what they believe in.
which seems to resonate with a lot of readers.
It's inspiring,
These complex, flawed women taking charge.
And it's not just the characters that are well developed. The whole world is
Reviewers talk about it as this magical, mystical place.
where you can get lost in the story.
It's like classic fantasy, but with unique twists that make it fresh.
Exactly. And that emotional impact we talked about.
It's all over the reviews how much these books make you feel,
People talk about it like an emotional roller coaster.
with joy and heartbreak woven throughout.
You get so invested in the characters.
And Maas manages to do all of this while keeping things engaging.
Some reviews call the series a mind-blowing tale, an adventure of epic proportions.
Wow.
Seriously, I'm adding it to my reading list right now.
Oh, absolutely. I've been meaning to, and after hearing these reviews, I'm even more excited to start.
Have you read the series? Let us know in the comments.
We love hearing from you guys.
No series is perfect, right? What are some criticisms that come up?
Well, some people say the pacing can be uneven sometimes.
That makes sense. It's a long series. Some books might feel slower than others.
Right. And a few people thought some plot twists were predictable.
But even those reviewers still found the story captivating.
It seems like the strengths of this series really outweigh any weaknesses.
And the high ratings and positive reviews definitely reflect that.
Absolutely. The series has a passionate fan base.
So don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more recommendations.
And let us know in the comments what you think of the series, especially if you've read it.
We love hearing from other book lovers.
Now I think it's time to shift gears a bit.
Okay, what do you have in mind?
I want to talk about some deeper themes.
Okay, sounds good.
One of the biggest themes is identity.
Celaena starts out as a prisoner with everything taken from her.
Her name, her history, her identity.
She has to fight for her freedom and the right to define herself.
And throughout the series, she goes on this journey of self-discovery,
It's incredible.
uncovering secrets, confronting fears, and reclaiming her true identity.
That's something that resonates with a lot of people.
It's about finding your own strength and defining yourself on your own terms.
Exactly. And it's not just Celaena's journey, it's how she affects those around her.
The relationships in this series are a major theme.
And they're portrayed so well.
Friendship, romantic, love, family bonds.
They're all tested and strengthened through adversity,
And those relationships offer so much support, strength, and hope.
even in the darkest moments.
It's a reminder that we're not alone.
We need people to lean on.
People who believe in us and love us unconditionally.
Speaking of unconditional love, it's interesting how Maas explores these tough themes.
Like sacrifice, loss, and grief.
She handles them with sensitivity and grace.
She shows how even in tragedy, there's always possibility for healing and growth.
It's not about pretending bad things don't happen.
It's about showing that even in the darkest moments, there's still hope.
There's strength within us to keep going and to find meaning.
Even when everything feels lost,
That's a message we all need sometimes.
life can be tough, and it's good to remember we're not alone in our struggles.
There's always hope and the possibility of coming out stronger.
Now, before we wrap up, I wanted to mention one more thing readers love.
What's that?
Maas's writing style itself.
Absolutely. Reviewers always talk about her vivid imagery, fast-paced action, and the witty dialogue.
She has this way of pulling you right into the story.
And it's not just serious stuff either,
Even in intense moments, she manages to add humor.
which keeps things balanced.
It's that blend of light and dark humor and seriousness.
That makes it so appealing.
It makes the characters feel even more real and relatable.
Because even in tough times, there's always room for laughter.
Couldn't agree more. That's one of the things that makes Throne of Glass special.
So to recap, this series has it all.
Compelling protagonist,
Richly imagined world,
epic battles,
sizzling romance,
unforgettable characters.
and it explores those important themes of identity, friendship, love, and hope.
And if you want to check it out,
We highly recommend grabbing that Throne of Glass paperback box set from Amazon.ca.
it's a great value, especially compared to buying each book separately.
Now, did you know Sarah J. Maas started writing Throne of Glass when she was only 16?
Wow, that's amazing.
It shows you're never too young to follow your dreams.
Absolutely. I think we've covered a lot in this first part.
But there's still so much more to talk about.
So stick around for part 2, or we'll go even deeper into the world of Throne of Glass.
Welcome back to Book Pier. We're having a blast digging into Sarah J. Maas's Throne of Glass.
Before the break, we were looking at those overarching themes and Maas's amazing character development.
Now it's time to get into some specifics.
Yeah, one of the things that really hooked me early on was that competition to be the king's champion.
He just throws Celaena right into the thick of it all.
Danger, intrigue, you name it.
Plus, it lets Maas introduce all these different characters.
Like Prince Dorian, so charming.
Captain Westfall, so steadfast.
And then there's Arabin Hamel, Celaena's mentor.
He's definitely enigmatic.
But the story gets bigger as the series goes on.
It's not just a competition anymore.
Right, it becomes this fight for entire kingdoms.
Ancient prophecies, powerful magic, even mythical creatures.
And Celaena's journey is tied to the destinies of all these other characters.
Creating this web of alliances and betrayals.
I was super drawn to the Fae storyline.
Oh, yeah, their world is so interesting.
It's got its own rules and hierarchy.
Adds a whole new layer to the series.
And the Fae characters are some of the most fascinating.
Like Rowan Whitethorn?
Oh, man. You either love him or hate him.
He's definitely a challenge for Celaena
Pushes her to grow.
and becomes a powerful ally.
Their relationship is a huge fan favorite.
There's that tension, but also a deep connection.
And we can't forget about Manon Blackbeak.
The ruthless witch.
She's such a force.
Manon's a great example of how Maas flips things around.
You think she's this cold-hearted villain?
But as you read on, she becomes so much more complex.
With her own sense of honor and fierce loyalty.
It's that kind of depth that makes the series stand out.
The relationships, the alliances, the sacrifices, it's what drives the story.
And Maas manages to tell this huge epic story while still focusing on those smaller moments between characters.
That's what keeps people hooked. It's that balance.
So many reviewers talk about crying while reading these books.
It's amazing, right? It's like everyone goes on this emotional roller coaster with Throne of Glass.
Maas is so good at making readers feel those emotions.
She doesn't shy away from the tough stuff like loss, grief, heartbreak.
But she also celebrates love, friendship, and that resilience of the human spirit.
And she does it all without getting too sappy.
It's hard to do, but she pulls it off.
If you're enjoying this conversation about Throne of Glass, hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more book discussions like this.
So we talked about the emotional impact, but what about specific moments? Are there any scenes that really stand out?
Oh yeah, the climax of Heir of Fire is huge.
That's where Celaena embraces her true identity as Aelin Ashriver Galathinius.
It's such a powerful moment of self-discovery and empowerment.
It sets the stage for everything that comes later.
The battles, the political intrigue.
Another scene reviewers always mention is the battle at Skulls Bay in Queen of Shadows.
Oh yeah, so much action.
It really shows Aelin's strategic mind.
And how strong her allies are.
And then there's the final showdown with the villain in Kingdom of Ash.
The ending everyone was waiting for.
It's epic and emotionally satisfying,
Maas knows how to stick the landing.
and she leaves you with hope for the future even after everything the characters have been through.
Before we move on, we have to talk about the romance.
Oh yes, the romance. It's a big part of why people love these books.
The relationships are intense, passionate, full of chemistry.
Maas writes some seriously steamy scenes.
But it's not just physical.
It's that deeper connection, that shared sense of values and respect.
It's what makes the romance in Throne of Glass so compelling.
Aelin and Rowan are a great example.
They start out as allies, but it grows into something much deeper.
It's a slow burn.
It's amazing that Maas can create such believable characters, even with the magic and battles and everything.
And that's why readers get so invested in their stories and relationships.
They feel like real people with real problems and victories.
It's not just escaping into a fantasy world.
It's about connecting with characters who feel real.
Exactly. That's what makes Throne of Glass so special.
It stays with you long after you finish reading.
It's a story about finding your strength, fighting for what you believe in, and the power of love and friendship.
And it's beautifully written with amazing characters and an epic scope.
If you want a series that will totally transport you and keep you hooked, Throne of Glass?
If you're already a fan, let us know what you think.
What are your favorite moments? Which characters did you connect with? Tell us in the comments.
And we love hearing from you guys.
Now, before we wrap up, I wanted to mention one more thing that makes this series so special: the fandom.
Oh yeah, the Throne of Glass fandom is one of the most passionate out there.
They make fan art, write fan fiction. They even have conventions.
It's amazing how these books have connected people from all over the world.
It shows how powerful Maas's writing is.
It's inspiring to see such a vibrant community.
If you're a fan and want to connect with others, check out the online fandom.
There are tons of resources, discussions, even meetups.
It's a great way to get more out of the series and make new friends.
Well, I think we've covered just about everything there is to say about Throne of Glass.
We've talked about the plot, the characters, the themes, even the fandom.
If you haven't read it yet, we can't recommend it enough.
You won't regret it.
And if you're already a fan, let us know your favorite parts and characters in the comments.
We love hearing from you.
Thanks for joining us on this journey through Throne of Glass.
Until next time, happy reading.
And don't forget to like and subscribe to Book Peer for more book recommendations. What we talked about today is just scratching the surface.
There's a whole world to explore in Throne of Glass.
If you want a series that will pull you in and keep you guessing until the very end, this is it.
We seriously can't recommend that box set enough.
The Throne of Glass paperback box set on Amazon.ca.
It's such a good deal and the perfect way to get started.
And as always, let us know what you think.
Especially if you're already a fan.
Leave a comment and tell us your thoughts.
We love to hear from fellow book lovers.
You know, before we go, I want to mention the fandom again.
Oh yeah, the Throne of Glass fandom is something else.
They're so creative.
The fan art is amazing, the fan fiction is incredible, and they even have conventions.
It's really incredible how these books have brought people together from all over.
It just shows you how powerful Maas's storytelling is.
It's inspiring to see such a passionate community.
If you're a fan and want to connect with other fans, check out the online fandom.
You'll find tons of resources, discussions, and even meetups.
It's a great way to dive deeper into the series and make some new friends.
I think we've covered just about everything there is to say about Throne of Glass.
We talked about the plot, the characters, the themes, even the fandom.
If you haven't read this series yet, we highly recommend giving it a shot.
You won't be disappointed.
And if you're already a fan, let us know what your favorite moments are.
And which characters you loved.
Drop a comment below. We love hearing from you.
Thanks for joining us today on this journey through Throne of Glass.
Happy reading, everyone, and don't forget to like and subscribe to Book Peer for more book recommendations.